everybody. Happy Monday to you. Hopefully your week goes well and you had a good weekend. Still kind of cold. We're supposed to hit single digits a couple of days this week, but boy, I feel bad for the people in Boston area. You guys have my sympathy. You went through a lot worse this year than we went through last year. It's incredible. So best wishes out there, and hopefully everything will. I guess you're getting hit with some more, but let's end this, okay? And get ready for a nice break, spring, summer, and fall. Excuse me. So today's person of interest, person you should know, is going to be another phenomenal grappler, fighter that I've had the pleasure to know and to train for years, and his name is Kosta Korres, originally from Greece, although his whereabouts are truly unknown. Some people say maybe he was a seed from a comet from another planet. I also heard that he might be the illegitimate grandchild of Groucho Marx. I don't know. All I know is that he is a hell of a man. He appears on the Snap No Tap and probably has some appearances on others, but he was featured along with Big Brian Klaus on the Snap No Tap. I think I've known Kosta Korres from since probably 2002 when I was in a hospital at that time. I think I met him. It's hard for me to remember. It was rough times then. And then he was working with Bruce and so on. And then when I got out of the hospital, I was working with him, and he watched my videos, and just, in some ways he reminds me of me. Not so much, partly physically, but, the way he thinks on the mat and moves, and plus he has a striking background, and so we have that in common. And so if you took him and you took this other guy that I trained, Brian Deneve, and put them two together, that's kind of like how I wrestle. One thing that Kosta does have in common with me, which I wish he didn't, is a bad back. And Kosta, while he's competed in grappling tournaments and MMA, I think his back issues have really, caused a big thing. It's difficult. People don't understand it unless you've suffered it, how you can be fine one day and then just bending over to open a door or tie your shoes and then it's out. And, the repetitious practice and drilling over and over, man, it's hard. It's hard to get, work around it sometimes. But Kosta is another one of these go-getters, okay? He was a hard worker when he was here in Chicago in his personal life, well-rounded, knew a lot about the bar industry, restaurants, rehabbing homes, and again, an amazing martial artist, Thai boxing background, and I also believe he played soccer, and his grappling is just awesome. He's come along. See, the thing with Kosta is he wanted to learn to be a wrestler. That's the beautiful thing. He goes up against college guys, straight wrestling. He doesn't care if he gets manhandled or not. He feels that's the way to learn. And it's never about getting a tap out or getting a submission with him. It's about getting better, both him and his training partner. And I have to say, he is just very generous with his training. He is there to help you as much as you help him, okay? And you can't find fault in the guy. If you're finding fault in the guy, there's something wrong with you. He's just a wonderful, caring human being that basically says, here, do what you got to do with my body. Use it to get yourself better. And Kosta is another one who, much like Bruce, much like Javier, is a great coach. He's no longer in the Chicago area. He moved out west, and he's actually going to hook up with another one of my long-time friends and distant students, distant training, and he's going to be working with him out there because they live with, I don't know, less than an hour away from each other now or something. But that's all good. Jeff. So, again, Kosta is just, I don't have enough words to say about him. He'll go off and practice suplees, okay? He'll go off and practice just sit-outs and reversals and grandies and things that quote unquote, these submission grapplers, unless they come from a wrestling background, most of them don't want to do that. They want to learn submissions or this or that. And Kosta has always been the guy who, in addition to his submissions, and he's a double wrist lock man, okay? In addition to his submissions, he just wanted to be a wrestler. That's what's just awesome, okay? He wants to be a wrestler. And then when you talk about the feet, he wants to be so good at strikes that he is, he just doesn't want to have any weaknesses like that, okay? And of course we all do. And by no means am I trying to make it sound like Kosta is arrogant about it. No, he's on that continual quest to be as complete as he can be. And another thing, with him literally being from Greece, there's an ancient history of wrestling with the Greeks. And, it's part of his culture. And apparently, sadly, in Greece, it's pretty much gone away. But, he still has that pride. And that is a good thing, to know your history and want to be a part of it and want to continue it on. And Kosta is just one of those guys who, when you're around Kosta, you just instantly feel better, okay? And you feel like a better man, or it's hard to explain, and I'm sure that maybe some of you guys have felt that with other people. You're in the presence of greatness, and that's how I feel when I'm around Kosta. And I was under a lot of stress making that snap no tap because of my whole arm being gone, my hip being broken, and I'm like, man, I don't know, man, I don't know. And Kosta said, man, no worries. That's all he said, 2 words, no worries. And I instantly felt at ease because I knew things were going to go good. We had problems filming that. Big Brian, his grandmother died. He had to leave during the filming and then came back. And, but we got it together, and it was all good. And, Kosta put on a hell of a show. We actually he was going live with Big Brian. He was live wrestling with me. And to me, that's the best video series I've ever done by far, or best videos that I've ever done, period. That's my pinnacle. And I didn't put a lot of submissions per se on there because you already have the lost art of hooking. So, and on that note, a lot of people don't realize that you're on a schedule. You don't have 24 hours a day to film. People take off of work, vacation times, and you have the producers have only an X amount of time slotted for you. It's all about money. They have to pay the cameramen, they have to pay the video editors, and so on. And they say we only want X amount of videos. And so a lot of times, like with the lost art of hooking, I didn't even get into knee bars. I didn't get into striking. Okay, I didn't get into, we did film weightlifting and exercise. None of that ever got released. So there's just so much, and even with the snap no tap, there's so much that we didn't get to cover. It's difficult. But Kosta was put on the spot. We never rehearsed anything. We didn't have cue cards. We didn't have anything. And Kosta rose to the occasion. These are legitimate guys like him. It's the real deal because, life is unexpected. And when you train and when you get into a street fight, you never know what's going to happen. And that's how that video series was. And Kosta proved beyond a shadow of a doubt to me that he rose to the occasion. It's one thing to be tapping people out when you're rolling in the gym. It's all friendly and all that. But when you get out there in the real world, man, it's a whole different story. So I cannot say enough good about Kosta. And, I feel that, he would have been world famous. I mean that. He would have been as good as any of these names that you hear if it wasn't for his bad back and the fact that he had to make a living. That's another thing. He had a wife, he had children. You got to put bread on the table. You got to sacrifice certain things, if you want to have a career in anything. I don't care if it's fighting or whatever it is. And, Kosta said family first, and smart move, because with his back, he was very limited in what he could do. Now, he's been rehabbing it for years, and it feels better, but it's one of those things, when your structure is messed up, it can cause a lot of problems. I know, and I empathize with him. But anyway, that's my story for today. To me, he has it all. And if anybody is ever anywhere and you need, I'll always recommend Kosta. He's just, I can't say enough about him. And, he didn't even know me when I was sick. He was getting to know me, and he still came to visit me and all that. That's a sign of a really good man. And I'll take a bullet for Kosta 7 days a week. So he's the best. I love you, man. You're an awesome person. So anyway, guys, I will see you tomorrow, and have a great day.